to trading post. Cedar. Paul. Oh, looks like little one wants my attention. Give me a second, I'll be back. I don't know if you can smell it. Mind clearing song to go with the sage. Mm-hmm. Who was that? Who did I learn that song from? Jacob Eagle Eyes. Two Worlds Radio, St. Pete. Yep. You're supposed to sing that when you get in the sweat lodge, and it's supposed to clear your mind. It's supposed to bring everybody into balance. It's supposed to just kind of bring the circle into, a calm space, because everybody has so many thoughts when they get in the prayer lodge, and they just, they don't know what to expect. The heat's coming. The prayers are coming. They just spun through the city. Everything's just chaotic, and it's climbing in. Is it going to be too hot? Am I going to sing? Am I going to pray right? All these thoughts, these human thoughts that are just, sometimes it's just go in and turn up the heat and allow things to happen, and it works out. It always works out. So, anyways, that's me avoiding the fact that I'm going to have to hear that song a couple more times, in order to sing it all the way through. Na 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 na. can taste the metal from that lamp. This lamp has been so disturbing for me. I can't even tell you why. It's a candlestick lamp. It looks like a Cinderella lamp. This has so much metal, and when the wattage comes off of that, I just feel this metal in my mouth, this disconcerting metallic stress from it reminds me of the chain that rolls across the prairie, someone wrapping up an iron rope or getting ready to just swing into somebody and bring this dirty metal in, I don't know why this does that. It's not my grandfather's dog tags, I never feel that, But this one lamp, I'm probably going to have to break it and throw it outside to get rid of it, But every time I turn on this light and I go to do something peaceful, loving, and spiritual, this metal and the wattage, here and in the kitchen, some kind of weird track lighting that just brings this very disconcerting metal. I don't know how it gets in. I don't know why I feel it. I don't know if it's a message about lead, if it's a message about chains, if it's a message about, just turn the electricity off. But see, I need the light, because if I turn off the light, you won't be able to see me now, would you? Can you see me? Can you see me now? Should I just, put the candle there? Can you see me, or do I have to hold it right here and look spooky? See, I can't do that. So unfortunately, I have to turn on the light, but I have to take the wattage out of it somehow. I don't know. Maybe I need some candlelight or the fire back. And you're not supposed to be out of bed. You are not supposed to be out of bed. So I got up, and I went into the healing room, and it's not in there. That feeling of metal. Disconcerting, uncomfortable, chain-like metal. I don't know why. So most days I try to keep that lamp off. Maybe I need a new lampshade, I don't know. Kind of silly to be talking about a lamp. But, I don't know. It's been a while. I saw my videos and I thought that, you guys might want to hear my voice. So I thought I'd try and sing a song or, tell you what's going on. See what's happening. Not really, doing anything. I have the lodge. I went out and I picked the saplings and I got 8 legs in, and she's been sitting there for about a month. I have all the stones in place. And I'm thinking about when I cut the saplings, because as I cut them, I could see people's problems on the young trees, and it was like it was strange, and as I chopped it, said my prayers. I carried this big bundle to the house, and I set this bundle down on the outside by the prayer lodge, and it was like this big energy just kind of started carrying problems off, and I hadn't even built the lodge, It's like it started happening in the process of cutting. It's almost like starting backwards, and it's just, it's interesting. You have to imagine this bundle of light saplings, just these perfect, beautiful beings, shining and waving as you're walking by, like saying, "Take me." And you have to imagine yourself carrying this bundle, and it's this burden. Yeah, but it's not a burden because it's beautiful, but as it's happening, you're feeling the power and that's already been set in the trees, like as if it's already destined, it's already happened, and holding it and walking up the road with it, You know, the funny thing is I had this big, ugly, mad bear walk into me as I was in the middle of cutting saplings. You know, and this big, ugly man comes up to me. What are you doing? And it's like, I'm cutting some stuff for dream catchers and for a structure. You know, this whole community is like really beautiful, and there's lakes and children, but he didn't really seem to be making sense, and he kept talking all over himself. He's like, "Do you live here?" I was like, "Oh my God," you know, and I'm sitting there shaking, you know, and terrified. What is this man doing? You know, so I go to my car, and I, you know, yeah, this is my address, you know. And I'm just wondering what the symbolism of a mad bear getting in the way of building the prayer lodge was, you know. So I just kind of set the saplings down, you know. The next couple days, the rainbow came. You know, I took pictures, put it online, thought it was really beautiful, and you know, it seemed to be pouring light. You know, so I was like, okay, today's the day you're supposed to, you know, start building. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4. I got the door and the back door, you know, arched over. You know, and I still have all the stones set from the prayer lodge before. You know, so I've been sitting here, you know, and I've been going back and forth, wondering what the mad bear means. You know, um, not really quite sure. You know, and I'm not really in a rush to finish building the lodge. You know, because Michael's all day long. He's a busy little booger. You know, but I'm still trying to figure out what the mad bear means. You know, can't figure out why light walking forward would be disrupted with something angry and vicious. You know, in the middle of light. But, you know, that's what happened to my daughter. She was walking along in beautiful light, and something mean and ugly came into it, you know, and took her on a journey that was really painful for the whole family, you know. Yeah. Hopefully Michael won't experience the mad bear. I call him Little Bear and Mourning Dove, because he's always cooing in the morning. He's the first thing I get in the morning, and he looks like a little cherub and a little bear. You know, so he's my Little Bear Mourning Dove. You know, just wondering what that mad bear is that doesn't like spiritual things, that doesn't like love, that doesn't like healing, that is willing to harm innocence. You know, and I look at the world, remember my vision quest. You know, there was definitely a bears on the mountain. You know, there were coyotes. There were tricksters. There was that owl that spun around in a circle. You know, and you're walking along and you're living life and you're loving and you're happy, and then a mad bear comes in. You know, and the bears for me aren't something that represents anger. You know, everywhere I've gone, they've always walked up, sniffed, or left berry, you know, berry poo, or you know, just cross the road, just regarded, or, you know, you get a whole family of bears just walking by. I've had one walk up into the driveway in the middle of the city, you know, everything's always been peaceful, you know. And I remember dreaming and sitting on the hill, you know, and this big, huge, powerful light just kept chasing me through a town. And just kept chasing me and 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 chasing me. And I was just like, what You know, and then this bear comes up to me, and I'm just like backing up, you know, and and I see, of all things, you know, Jacob, who's Jacob Eagle Eyes, you know, and I hadn't seen him since like '02, '03, before I even birthed the twins, you know, and Jacob was in the dream, and he came up and he hugged my sister, you know, and like, okay. So a big light is chasing me through a town, going from place to place. Jacob walks up and laughs at me, and you know, and then hugs my sister, you know, and then I'm startled awake on the hill with Choppa's son coming to check on me to make sure that I was okay, you know, on the hill. And he's wearing a t-shirt with a bear on it. And I'm like, okay, you know. Biggest thing I was afraid about on there was rattlesnakes. You know, there was a chance a rattlesnake was going to scooch on in. You know, I remember thinking about breaking and walking out of the circle. Just sitting there looking at that east gate and looking at that line and wanting to get out. I must say that's present here consistently. I'm always looking at the gate and watching the door. You know. So maybe that's part of what that is. You know, but the mad bear in the middle of light, in the middle of praying, in the middle of being, in the middle of helping the people, in the middle of healing medicine happening, to have that mad bear disturb everything. You know, I sat there shaking for a little while, you know. I could see how my daughter walked it. I can see how her sister walked it, because in dealing with what it's like to deal with somebody who was victimized and hurt, there's little intense moments, you know. And then this little bear shows up, you know. So here's Mama and her three little bears, you know. Writing, laughing, loving, doing healing work, shifting things. But mad bear walking into life. I first went out to South Dakota. I walked up to Wounded Knee. I was hysterical. I just felt everything. It was horrendous. It was absolutely horrendous. I couldn't even get out of the car at first. I'm an empath, so it was too much. It was way too much. You know, and I walked up to a gravesite. Of all things, it was the Mad Bear family. And it's that one story I was telling you guys about that had the cross, you know, on the gravestone, but it had the right side of the cross knocked off. And so the right side of the cross was knocked off, so it looked like a sacred pipe was just, you know, standing right there in the ground, you know, pointing to the Mad Bear family, you know. But I'm just wondering, you know. I mean, later on, when I got home, I was like, you know, what makes a man stutter, talk over himself, and behave irrationally, and say things out of order, and become a bit chaotic and disconcerting, you know, to something kind with a child. It's kind of sick and deranged, you know, mentally disturbing. But when I look out into the world, there's a lot of mad bears, you know. Right before my grandfather died, a mad bear came into our lives. You know, right before we moved from Asheville, a mad bear came into our lives. You know, it used to just be, you know, the spiritual being that was going to pick me up as the bear and carry me over the threshold after, you know, being hurt. I just, you know, so it was weird, you know. But when there's that quiet time and we don't have a mad bear, um, there's laughter, there's love, there's goofiness, you know, there's silliness, there's playing and eating fish and catching things and playing with butterflies and singing and dancing and pouncing around, and nothing coming in to mess up your campsite, nothing coming in to disturb happiness. There's no mad bear, you know. And that, as Ashevilleans, that's what my daughters and I are accustomed to: dancing, prancing, playing in the sun, you know, normal family squabble. But I'm kind of getting sick of the mad bear. As a country, there's a lot of mad bears, you know. And we have a few leaders that are mad bears that could just end it for everybody, you know. You know, I don't expose my children to mad bears, you know. We move, you know. So I'm wondering, you know, what disturbed the prayer lodge and why the mad bear came in. But I saw this pile of wood, and it's almost like the wood was wrapped up in what's always knocked down the branches and left firewood in the yard, you know, for 20 years, whatever, for the prayer lodge, you know. So, you brought me wood, and I just look up to the sky and say, thank you. You know, it's a beautiful thing, you know. I remember that one day camping with my daughters. We're walking, you know, it's right after my grandfather died, so it was traumatic. We didn't know which direction we were going to go. And we're sitting there at one of our little camp spots and playing at the water. My daughter walks up and brings me a fish. I'm like, oh my gosh, she just caught her first fish and I didn't even teach her, and she just brought me a fish. You know? How did that little bear do that? You know? And celestial thunder. She's such a beautiful creature. You know? And the other one's running around and being silly and squealing as usual. But this huge storm came, and it was these huge um, uh, white thunder beings. I mean, huge. The storm just blew everything out. I'm sitting there holding two little girls' hands, my twins, and I'm moving from side to side, and trees are literally going. I mean, trees the size of, you know, big, huge trees. You know, and I just set up the tent. What are you doing? You know, and it's like it just slammed through the mountain and stomped, brum, 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 and everything just. I've never heard so many trees fall in my life. You know, kind of reminds me of the saplings. You know, and it just good God, we've been through so much together. You know, so I'm still contemplating the vision quest and the mad bear. Again, you know, after leaving that vision quest, coyotes were pulling the wrong direction. They were all, you know, just creating an interesting energy, you know, to lead people into falling. you know, to take the fruit of another, to snatch it, like swipe or no swiping, you know. And a lot of coyotes loose, a little bit down south. I don't like mad bears. And I don't always like it when vision quest starts happening in real life. You know, and it feels like as soon as we get things healed as a nation, you know, the next round comes in, and it's you know, it's kind of like a merry-go-round that giving me a lot of poetry, but I'm kind of ready to jump off. You know, I don't want to deal with a mad bear. I want to frolic. I want to frolic. I want to stick my nose in the dirt, and I want to, you know, smell her cleanliness. Then I want to, you know, watch butterflies move and watch the stream flow and pick berries. You know, and it's berry season, and that's great. You know, so 1, 2, 3, 4 legs are bent, and the door is there. But I have a real serious line in the sand, and I'm waiting. You know, and when I have a line in the sand, I have to honor it. When I haven't, I've run into something really horrendous. So, you know. But, you know, so when I'm ready, I'll go back out there and pick 4 more. But when I say that the saplings in the middle of cutting it took it, they took it, and it's being fixed. And I've walked with my medicine, so it's not, you know, the prayer lodge is more of a thing to heal me. You know, every time I go in there, it's almost like I just feel this army of people coming in and all wanting these things, and I can hear their prayers. It's like Bruce Almighty, and I'm just like, okay, okay, okay. I really came in here to dust off, and I don't know how to say no to you. You know, so I end up praying, and I start praying, and I start praying, and then it's like, that's a lot, you know, and that's great. You know, but I could use a really good dust off where I don't have to worry about where I'm leaving my son. I could use a week in the woods, you know, away from everybody where I can just, there's been a constant hyper-vigilant state of awareness for about 5 years, you know, and it's that, since being pregnant, it's that intense, you know, and there's been so much outputting, like I said in the last video. I don't know. Thanks for not bear soup. Anyways, 30 minutes on the bear. And I don't really think that you got to see the bear. And I did. I got a mad bear at the door. got another mad bear thinking of coming in, you know. And the bear man was just supposed to pick me up and lift me up and carry me after the blood spilled on my thighs. You know. So, we'll see. It's a small female bear. And this bear's bit my kids before. I have a few bears.